Did he get the redemption arc he wanted? You know, what do you think about Sheena? What do you think about Lala? And what do you think about this being the end of Pump Rules as we know it? And I'm going to tell you what I think, and I have a couple of more stories, guys, so stick around. And I'm going to tell you what I think the future of Pump Rules will be in those stories. But before I do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to, let's do, what story do we want to do? Do we want to do reunion or do we want to do Stassi? You know what? Let's do the reunion. All right, let's do that. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says the Vanderpump Rules reunion trailer, Ariana Madix cries and tells Sandoval she wants him gone, as cast real-time reactions to finale are revealed. Plus, Joe accuses Katie of gang up as LVP hints at someone quitting. So as we know, the trailer has dropped. I would play it, but NBC has been coming after me lately, so I'm not going to play it. You guys have to go on YouTube or somewhere and watch it. But let's break it down. It says Ariana Madix and Tom Sandoval had an emotional moment with one another at the Vanderpump Rules reunion which was filmed back in March. In a just-released sneak peek at the upcoming special, Ariana and Tom tear up while discussing their past relationship as Lala warns Ariana of an impending fight backstage. Joe accuses Katie of ganging up on her, and Lisa Vanderpump hints at someone's exit from the series. I mean, I think the entire cast is now exiting since it's on pause, but there's that. You've all been through such an interesting shared experience for over a decade that we wanted you to watch this ending together and then get your real-time reactions, Andy states as the preview begins. Although it isn't revealed what the finale entailed, Ariana seems deeply impacted by the events. It hurts my feelings a whole lot. It really does, she cries. You know me well enough to know that this is not acting, Sandoval replies. I don't, Ariana insists. Sandoval then tells his former girlfriend, you knew me, Ariana, but she continues to cry and tells him, I just want you away from me. I just want you gone. At that point, a message across the screen reads, 7 hours earlier, and the cast is seen arriving at their Los Angeles set. You can cut the tension with a knife, Tom Schwartz tells Lisa. How do you feel about seeing Ariana today? Andy asks Tom Sandoval. I don't know. Nervous, he admits. Elsewhere, Lala puts her dukes up at Ariana and warns her, we get out there. Once they arrive on set, Joy joins the group and shares her thoughts on Katie's many comments against her. I never felt ganged up on, honestly, by anybody except for you, Katie, Joe states. I was dealing with a lot of crap, Katie replies. It's no excuse, Joe fires back. Sandoval and James Kennedy also butt heads. I'm keeping my mouth shut about things that I've learned, Tom says. You haven't heard crap, James responds. Then after Sheena tells Ariana, you should have walked out of the effing door, Sandoval attempts to defend himself. There's no but, Tom. That sentence was over, Sheena interjects. As for Lala, she appears to get upset with her castmate for keeping certain opinions to themselves. Everyone wants to live their real life, and I want to live my real life now, she declares. As the clip concludes, Lisa says to someone not revealed, sometimes it's okay to walk away. The 3-part Vanderpump Rules Season 11 reunion begins next Tuesday. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. This is what I think is happening. The reason why they go in like dukes up and everything is because, and the executives are hilarious and dead wrong for this, but I would do the same thing if I were an executive in this position. The cast basically learns that they're fired at the reunion. Because remember, they didn't see the end of the finale until they did the reunion. And by fired, I mean that the show is going to be put on pause. They didn't learn that going into the reunion. They learned that at the reunion. And what I mean by that is, at least in my opinion, it was very clear at the end of the finale with the whole montage and all of that stuff. That was their way of saying goodbye. That was their way of putting a pin in the series. And these people have worked in television long enough to understand that when you get that montage, it's pretty much a goodbye. So they go into the reunion not knowing that the producers and executives have already decided that they're not coming back for next season, that there's a pin in the show. So that's why they're like, we want your real time reactions. Yeah, I'm sure you do, because you're basically letting them know you're fired. The jig is up. You're being put on pause. So yeah, they're crying and they're all up in arms. And I think Ariana's like so sad because, Sheena and Lala and Tom were all basically like, yeah, Ariana, like get over yourself. Like enough is enough. And the producer and everything and all of that. So that's what I think is going on with the finale and everything, or the reunion rather. Now, when it comes to Joe, we don't need Joe at the reunion. Joe versus Katie, Team Katie, all day, every day. Joe, shut up. You were actor short. You really thought you were the one, and he used you for sex and your companionship, and then he discarded you. And I know that sucks and it probably hurts, but don't blame Katie for that. Why are you crying about you felt so ganged up by Katie? You were having sex with her husband. They were going through their divorce, and you had moved in with him while you're texting her. And you're mad at her? Why don't you take all that weird energy, Joe, that you have for Katie and put it towards Tom Schwartz and be like, why did you use me? Why did you act like I was your Joseph? Why did you have sex with me? Why did you tell me you loved me? Why did you keep me a secret? Why did you let me move in with you? Why did you use me for my body and my time and my company and to walk your dogs? Take all that energy that you have for Katie and put it towards the person who played the hell out of you, which is Tom Schwartz. Because Tom Schwartz right now is very public and very happy and in a very much relationship with a very young, cute influencer that he had no problem posting on Instagram, that he has no problem introducing as his girlfriend. And the gag is Katie has no problem with her because number one, this girl did not pretend to be Katie's friend and then turn around and screw her ex husband. So, Joe, shut up, pipe down. We don't need you on the show. Bye bye. Okay. Okay. Now, when Tom Sandoval says at the reunion, you know me, you know I'm not acting, I have a hot take on that. The sad part is I don't think that Tom realizes that he is acting. I think he is so far gone in his own delusion of who he is. He himself doesn't even understand that the majority of the things that he does are very performative and ego based. Because I think he lacks the self awareness to know that he's actually not being, in my opinion, because again, I don't know this person, never met him a day in my life. This is just my opinion based on what he shows me on a television show. I don't think that Tom, as of yet, hopefully he's still in therapy with a legitimate therapist, not a TV therapist, and not this sort of like life coach woo woo BS. I mean, a legitimate therapist, not to discard life coaches and alternative stuff, not to discard that. I think there's a time and a place for that. But I think for some things, we need to go to professionals who are going to tell you like it is and who are trained and have the credentials to help you with some real deep rooted issues. There's nothing wrong with gurus. There's nothing wrong with life coaches or your spiritual people. But sure, knock yourself out. Just be careful you don't fall into some type of cult. Be careful. But I think the deep rooted issues he needs a professional. Okay? Because when he says he's not acting, I think he actually believes it. Even though everybody around him, even Tom Schwartz, are all like, okay, Tom, we got it, Tom. Okay, Tom. He's over the top and he's doing this and he's like, man, and da-da-da, like I always show up for people and da-da-da-da. He has drank so much of his own Kool-Aid. He's bought into his own lie. He's bought into his own delusion of grandeur. Okay? To the point where I don't even think he realizes, like, I don't think he actually knows who he is. That's the crux of what I'm saying. I don't think he actually knows who he is at his core. So when he says, "I'm not acting," I think in his mind, he actually believes it because he's worn the mask for so long, he doesn't actually know what is truly underneath it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So there is that. Now, the rest of this reunion, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's going to be that juicy, juicy give. I think that most likely it might be a little flat. I don't think there's going to be any new news. I think it's going to be everything we already knew, everything we already saw. And I think that's just what it's going to be. Like, what bomb could they drop? What new information can come out that would make it any more interesting or have us any more invested? I mean, the producers already put it on pause. And Lisa Vanderpump knows that because don't forget, Lisa Vanderpump, it's called Vanderpump Rules. She's an executive producer. So she went into the reunion knowing that the show was going to be put on pause. You know? So there's that. Yikes. But I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about the reunion? Word on the street is that Tom calls Rachel a coward for not showing up and for not filming, but still talking about everything. I don't know. Do you think she's a coward? Do you think she made the right choice by not coming back on the show? What do you guys think? Put it down below. And will you be watching the reunion? I think it's a three-parter. I think it's a three-part reunion. I mean, it's pretty much their swan song, their last hurrah, just to wrap up the season and the series and everything. So who knows? But put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's talk about two theories I have